Hello, hello. It's the June recap. Do do.
All right, that will be the theme song from now on. All right, yeah, we're doing this monthly thing every time after we finish filming, like the next day or the next
Yeah,
film
you're
that we
still
watch. We're
thinking
like, oh
about
yeah,
it.
we should like yeah, more thoughts, right?
Yeah,
So
it's true.
so here it is. More. Let's just put it this way. Thoughts that are more considered because when we're filming, we're just saying whatever
It's
comes to our mind.
That's
On
true,
the
yeah.
spot.
Well,
Yeah.
also when we're filming, we're not saying a lot of stuff too because we're trying to pay attention to the movie. So it's like this
Yeah.
weird balance of like having to talk through the movie and also like keeping stuff.
Yeah. And when we do talk, it has to be in short bursts.
Yeah.
Just yeah.
Oh
All
no.
right. All right. So the first movie that we
That
did
we
in June.
watched in June.
Yeah. We opened June with
Phew.
Gone Girl.
Yeah. Just a chill little flick. Just a nice little doodly doo.
Yeah. I think it's still the biggest like mid movie fuck you brain moment of all the movies we've done, I think.
Yeah, that moment where it's when she's driving in the car, right? That we're like, oh shit, this is current.
Yeah,
This
and then it
is-
follows up with like a quick or not quick, but like a montage of
Oh my God.
all the plans, all her plans from her point of view.
Which is so insane
Mm-hmm.
and so smart and so thought out. And is this the
Yes.
movie where I couldn't say strategy?
I think so. I
Is
think you
this the
said
video that I have
strategy.
to fuck my life? Uh,
Oh man.
strategy. Strategy. Stamina.
Yep. So someone quoted. I'm just reading the comments right now. Someone quoted. It says, "People believe what they want. People believe what they want to believe." George, I don't have any strategy. Simone. Yeah. So since this movie, because like every time we do a film, and when it's being edited, like I have to search for posters, information about the movie, the cast, blah blah blah, right?
Yeah.
So it tends to affect my search result or like algorithms from other platforms.
Oh yeah, totally.
So I remember after this movie, I started seeing like clips and here and there recommendations of like Rosamund Pike,
Okay, yeah.
and I just do not look at her the same way after that.
No,
like-
it's really like the only other thing I've seen her in is Pride and Prejudice, where it's like the exact opposite. She's like this
Yeah?
very shy, very put together, like
Oh.
lovely person, and it's really like she's lovely, and you just love
I'm
her
sure she's a lovely
immediately.
person too.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, of course. And that, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a testament to her acting skills, like
Mm-hmm.
to turn into such a monster.
Yeah, I feel like we should at some point do another movie with her in it, and like ideally a role that's completely different.
I would like that.
Yeah, because like you know what? No, before this movie, I tried to watch Wheel of Time. And
Oh,
I
right.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, I also attempted to watch and then didn't continue watching it after like the
Yeah,
first
I
10 minutes.
didn't like it. But even that, her role, she played another kind of cold character. So there's some similarities. Yeah. Yeah. So I want to see something that's
Interesting.
completely different. Maybe we do have to just do Pride and Prejudice. I don't know.
I mean, I'm always game to watch Pride and Prejudice because one thing that I learned after the fact was that I knew that it was about a book, or sorry, it was based on a book. But what I didn't know is that the book came out in 2012,
Okay.
and then the movie was like made in like probably 2013, came out in 2014.
Okay.
So like that to me is such a quick turnaround. Like that's so. How does that even happen? Of like
Yeah,
this
'cause,
movie
like-
being such a hit, and then like they need to make a movie out of it, like or like the book being
Yeah.
such a hit.
Yeah,
It's
it does
crazy.
seem like very quick because like the book has to be released. It has to get recognition. People have to buy the correct writer has to read the book,
Yeah.
adapt it to a screenplay, get it optioned. I think that's the next step.
Ugh, I don't know.
That might take ages, go through various studios, but maybe I don't know. Maybe Fincher picked it up, and then because he's Fincher, he gets a
Maybe.
fast track because he's a well-known, respected
Fair enough.
director.
It still seems like such a quick turnaround from like a
Yeah,
book being
yeah.
published to the movie being made, which I think is,
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool. I'm glad that they did that.
Anything else? I mean, this movie, my thoughts about it hasn't changed. It scared the shit out of me.
Yeah,
I stand by the phrase, don't stick your dick in crazy.
Oh my
And-
God.
And I love this movie. That's it.
It's a pretty
What about
great,
you?
it's a pretty good movie. It's one of those things that I don't want to ever watch again, though. That's something that's I think is maybe interesting. Like I know I loved it, and it was so good, but I will never want to see all that stuff again. I will never want to go through all that stuff again. It's so. Oh,
All
the
right.
next movie that we watched in June was L.A. Confidential.
Another movie with like a big ass twist, but this one
Yeah.
was closer to the end.
I like the little summary on IMDb. As corruption grows in 1950s Los Angeles, 3 policemen, one straight-laced, one brutal, one sleazy, investigate a series of murders with their own brand of justice.
Why does it feel like Chris wrote that?
I don't know. It's got this like weird, it's sort of funny. Like when I think of all like the Danny DeVito stuff and like the voiceover and the narration and like there's some bits of it that are just like, I don't know. It's very, maybe like 1950s, like kind of like,
Yeah.
I don't know. This is one of
I mean,
those movie moments. I can't remember the name and I feel bad for not remembering the name. But like, you know, the big moment where he said the name that only the guy knew and then he figured out that because the thing.
Yes.
What was the name?
Rollo Tomasi.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
one of my favorite movie moments.
Yes. Someone in the comments wrote that Rollo Tomasi line by Spacey was freaking fantastic. That chuckle and smile subtly saying, "Gotcha, bitch."
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. This is so good.
It was so well established, but so like expertly put to the side just enough that you wouldn't even think of it as like a possible trick
Yeah,
until it happened.
totally.
He told that story once and you're like, oh, classic character bonding moment.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah, I didn't think anything of it. And then we have the crazy like betrayal of Buddy-O, who I can't remember the name right now, James Cromwell,
Yes.
of like
Buddy-O.
Buddy-O. My brain was literally like, what the fuck is the name? What the fuck is his name? Yeah, James Cromwell is a bad guy. It's so weird after seeing him in like The Green Mile and I saw him in First Contact. Like he's good. He's nice. He's lovely. He's James Cromwell. Like, why? Why are you bad?
James Elroy, who is I think the writer,
Okay.
the writer for the movie, described Kevin Spacey's performance as Jack Vincent as some of the best self-loathing I've ever seen on screen.
Interesting. That's funny.
Yeah, and apparently Guy Pearce did not like Exley's character when he first read the screenplay. He said it was overly self-righteous.
Huh.
All right, next movie, another drama. This one is abusive drama.
Oh. Ugh.
Whiplash.
Oh my God.
Okay, I am very shocked by the comments on this one because there were a lot of people that was almost to the point of defending Fletcher.
Really?
Yes, there were people saying, it's not abuse. You really need this kind of pushing to get greatness.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Part of me, I don't really buy it just because there were other people in the comments who were like, I am a musician and this is like, no one ever does this. Mm-hmm. If they do, they wouldn't be in the industry for too long.
Yeah, except there is this like stereotype in the arts of teachers that really, we talked about this when we watched the movies, like teachers who do like over push or try to get you into a certain emotional state and do it in a way that's really not ethical.
Is that a stereotype in arts? I didn't know about that.
I mean, yeah, I mean it's that's what I experienced a little bit.
Yeah?
Totally. I don't know, or like directors playing mind games to get you to a certain point. You know, I feel like that's a thing. And
Interesting. Okay.
and Fletcher totally played mind games with him. Like, oh my God, it was gross.
Yeah.
Like playing nice guy and talking to him just to get information about his life so he could use it against him. Fletcher's the worst.
That was a really difficult character.
Yeah.
To sort of just sit through because of how explosive he is, and you don't know when it's going to happen. So, it made me feel like Miles Teller's character, where every time Fletcher comes on screen, you don't know if he's going to be
Oh, it was scary.
Mr. pretending to be nice guy or just throw something at you.
Yeah, totally.
I can understand Miles Teller's character wanting to stay.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Like,
it's your
just
dream. It's you.
Exactly, for his
Yeah.
pursuit of greatness.
Yeah.
I can understand that part, but it doesn't mean it's not binary. It's not connected to Fletcher's abuse. They're not one-to-one. He just happens to land it under a terrible teacher. That's all it is.
I guess, yeah. This movie is so complicated because there's a part of me that 100% agrees with you. And it's like, Fletcher is a crazy person, abusive, horrible. And then there's a part of me that's like, kind of sees that, like, if you see potential in someone, but they're not working hard enough, and you could get them to work harder and they could be great if they just put a little more effort in. And in order to get them to put that effort in, you have to push them a little bit. Like, I there's this weird little part that, like, sees how that makes sense.
Sure, I would agree with that if Miles Teller's character was just like a lazy piece of shit who has the talent but won't utilize it. He's not. We opened the movie seeing him sweating his, like,
that's
covered
true.
in sweat, drumming so hard till his hand bleed.
Yeah,
And
he was
even
putting
if
in the
he is
work.
a lazy piece of shit, there's more than one way to push someone to work harder.
Yeah.
Throwing something at someone's head is not one of them. It's definitely not the best option.
That's insane, for sure. The next thing we watched in June. Oh my god.
Dungeons and Dragons:
Oh my
Honor
God.
Among Thieves.
Yeah.
I
So
am so
good.
surprised to learn that it was apparently a box office disappointment.
What?
I wonder if it's just like people going in thinking, oh, it's another, quote unquote toys to movie thing. Or maybe people still had the bad memory of the original, or not the original, but the 2000s Dungeons and Dragons movie, which was
Oh, I never saw that
awful.
one.
I don't know, but yeah, I'm really surprised.
Me too.
It was so enjoyable. And there were people in the comments that were like, I didn't want to see this, and then I saw it and I was deeply regret not seeing it in theaters. So
Wow. That's
I-
so
yeah.
interesting. I wonder if it's like the like our circle syndrome. It's like you think something's going to be huge because everyone in like our friends are excited about it. And then it turns out like the world isn't. All that aside, I love this movie so much.
Yeah.
Despite its bending the rules. The rules is written a little bit because it's just a lovely universe. It's
it was
just
so
great.
much more funny than I thought it was going to be. Or maybe I'm just thinking of the Fat Dragon, which turns out apparently is lore. It's actually canon.
Right? What? That's amazing. I love that so much.
Tempershot? I don't know how to pronounce it, but
Yeah.
apparently Fat Dragon is lore, so
So
that's
good.
awesome.
I love that there was comedy in this because it made me feel like you could like pull back and see a bunch of nerds around a table like playing these characters and having these like silly moments because it just happens all the
is a
time.
session. Yeah.
Like D&D is I just played D&D last night, so it's fresh. But it's just it's so good. We were talking in one session, we were talking about how, so my character is an automaton, and we're talking about how we could maybe make like, or get like a bag of holding that could be like affixed to my, like the inside of my throat. So I could open my mouth and then you could just throw stuff into the bag of holding. And like this weird thing where my metal jaw would like unhinge and it would just be like I would just eat items that we need to carry. It was like really weird shit that you just when else would anyone talk about that?
At any point did anyone make a deep throat joke?
Maybe. before we watched this movie, I was avoiding clips of this movie and moments of this movie and people talking about this movie like the fucking plague. And so after we watched it, because my Instagram is very heavily like D&D algorithms.
Sure.
This is what you want to see. And there was these guys talking about the moment when the paladin walks away, and how apparently it was unscripted that he walks over that rock.
That's awesome.
And I'm just like, you won everything. That is thank you so much for being so committed to that character that he would just walk in a straight line. It's so good. It's so good. And
that character, there was another thought that I had about him that, like, it only clicked in afterwards when I was looking through the footage again. We were laughing at how the moment he showed up, he had like open chest, pop collar,
totally. He was
looking like he was going into an R&B music video. It's because he's got max charisma.
Yeah.
It didn't click in until afterwards. I was like,
no, it's from the second we saw him. I was like, I know exactly. Like, it was just, and of course he's, played by one of the most attractive human beings on the face of the earth. So, well done casting.
yeah, seriously. Okay, so one other thing. At the end of the video that we asked people, to like give us your cast for like, the next movie, all the different roles, and someone came up with an even better idea, which is get the same actors but play different class, because it's a group of people playing another session.
Interesting.
It's a new campaign, right? So same actors.
I like that.
Different class. Yeah.
I still want to see different classes, but like different people too. But like, oh my God. The next movie that we watched in June was Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Pet Detective, yes.
A goofy detective specializing in animals goes in search of the missing mascot of the Miami Dolphins.
So they made a cartoon series after Ace Ventura, which I'm not surprised, but it also surprised me that the persona, the walk, like the gait that the character had was just Jim Carrey. It wasn't based on any previous like comic book material, because it totally feels like it is.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, it is just him being a goofball and being amazing. I will say that watching this really, it made me feel closer to my friends in a weird way, because they, like, I say alrighty then because my friends had said alrighty then, and my friends said alrighty then because they watched this movie when they were younger, and I was just like late to hop on the boat. And the whole like the whole like a glove parking thing, like the amount of times that I've heard, like, and it just, I'm just glad that I now get the joke. I'm now in on the joke and I get to be a part of it. Before I was just like, what are you guys talking about? I don't understand. So I don't know. It just makes me, I'm happy that.
I also have to admit, after this movie, I've been doing the talking from my butt. To those who are close to me.
Jesus.
I can't stop thinking about him going, excuse me, do you have a minute? Oh, horrible.
That's terrible. You need to stop. On behalf of people that you're doing that to, I'm gonna say you need to know.
On that person, I'm doing that to.
I feel very sorry for her. Are you okay?
Next movie is Basic Instinct.
Yeah. Okay. So aside from the obvious, I really liked this movie.
Supposedly, it's the most paused moment in VHS tapes.
Oh, Jesus, I don't know how that makes me feel icky for some reason.
I mean, like, if you're a teenage boy and like this is before everybody can access the internet to go to Pornhub.
Yeah.
And then it's Sharon Stone. I get it. If you're like,
Yeah, I guess. Anyway. I thought it was great. I feel pretty stupid because in this movie I kept on like second guessing the like everything. Like I really they did such a good job, or maybe I'm just like I don't know. I was like, who is it? Is it her? It's got to be her. It's not her. It's this lady. It's like they really I don't know.
I mean, I feel like it's Catherine for sure, but a lot of people did say that apparently even the director doesn't know who actually did it. However, that fade to black and then fade back in reveal was studio forcing the director's hand, and that's why he kept the fade in as like a bit of a minor protest, apparently.
Yeah. That's very cool. I do like when movies leave you guessing. I think that to a point. I don't like in this it's like it's fun to keep on guessing. I had a lot of fun like trying to figure it out and like
another interesting thing, because I think during this video I made fun of how Wayne Knight's character is just the same as his character in Jurassic Park.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a reason for that. It's upon seeing this film, Steven Spielberg noticed Wayne Knight and immediately wanted him to play Dennis Nedry in Jurassic Park.
Okay.
He stayed through the end credits to find his name.
Wow.
And he ended up being the first actor casted for Jurassic Park.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's why it's so similar, because he liked
he's like, you know that thing that you did in Basic Instinct? Do that. Be sweaty and nervous. Wow, that checks out.
Hot Shots Part 2.
Yeah.
Total tonal whiplash compared to the last one.
Seriously. What do we even say about this movie? Okay, let's okay. Rambo parody in which Topper Harley leads a rescue team to Iraq to save Iraqi war prisoners and all of their previous rescue teams. Yeah, this is a silly movie. Hot take. I don't know if you guys knew this. It's a silly one.
Oh, hold on. I just had to burp really grossly. Yes, it is a really silly movie.
I'm so glad I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I muted the mic.
Oh, nice.
I stand by what I said. I like this one more than the first one. I had a better time with it, and I think it was just pacing. Yeah. Or at least more structured plot. Maybe that's the other thing.
Yeah, the first one I'm trying to remember, and the only thing I can remember is like the guy in the plane with the antlers, and then he died. He got shot. That's
yeah.
Oh, and the cooking eggs on someone's torso.
Yeah.
That's all I remember about the first one.
That's all I remember the first one. Yeah. So apparently the bit in the movie where like the two characters are fighting each other with like these colorful things, everyone says it's from a TV show called American Gladiator.
Okay.
1989 to 1996.
Okay.
And they're surprised that we don't know that show.
Hold on, I'm gonna Google it. Yeah, I've never seen this before.
I don't know why would anyone expect us to know this show. It's before my time, both birth and moving to the other side of the world. It's not from the country that my family migrated to, and it's reality TV, which I never watched. So is it surprising that I didn't know?
Yeah, I don't know. Reality TV now seems like a really big thing.
Yeah.
But when I was growing up, I mean, granted, like when I was growing up, we had one TV channel that was CBC.
Right.
Which is the Canadian Broadcasting Company.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, the next movie that we watched in the month of June is Ex Machina.
Yeah. The deep thought, hard to watch.
This movie.
Big debates in the comments for this one. A good amount of people were on Ava's side. A good amount of people were against her. And on Caleb's side, there were even people that were on Nathan's side.
Interesting. Ooh. Oh, man. When I think back to this movie, I am still 100% on Caleb's side. To me, he was 100% innocent. He was as innocent, or if not more innocent than Ava was. Like, Buddy got picked just because he was good at his job. Sent to this, like, weird place. And, like, in a very, like, mild sense, like, you know, like, tortured. Until he was left to die. Absolutely insane. And then for Ava, she was created, tortured, and did everything in her power to gain her freedom. And unfortunately, that meant that she had to sacrifice Caleb. And I don't like her for that. There's a part of me that wishes this movie went in a different way, which is just silly. It's like, no, this movie is it's this is it. Deal with it. And I'm like, no, I want them to live happily ever after. Like, it's so stupid.
So one of the things that a lot of people mentioned, and this is something I want to debate on. I don't know how, because I would have to wait for people to respond, but it's a lot of people were mentioning that they think Ava is neither good or evil, that she was simply using logic over emotion, that it was just a machine deciding. And I disagree with that on the fact that I feel like a lot of this is solely based on a common interpretation of AI or robots or android.
Okay.
Which is that sort of Terminator style. Obviously, in current world, this degree of AI is fictional still.
Yes.
To have Terminator, to have Ava, to have Bishop from Aliens, right? It's fictional. So it's up to the film to interpret whichever version they want. No different than dragons. You know, is it flying? Is it flightless? Is it
Chunky.
Asian dragon? Is it chunky? Yeah. It's completely fictional. So it depends on whatever the movie wants to do.
Yeah.
In Terminator case, it is designed to be an emotionless robot. In this case, I feel like it is designed to be a being that has understanding of feelings, no more in the same way that Blade Runner's replicants are, you know?
Yeah.
And I say that because in order for you to deceive someone via emotion, which she did when she cried in that cage, you have to first understand emotion, right? You need sympathy to be able to do that. So to me, in this interpretation of an AI, she feels it.
Yeah.
And therefore, when she chooses to leave him behind, it may not be entirely, but I feel like it is partially an emotional response, a decision as well.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like by the end, she is more leaning towards bad than just indifferent. Does that make sense? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's my stance.
Fair enough.
And I will not die on this hill. Okay.
Yeah, this was one of the movies that's like, I want more. I want to see what happens next with her. I want to see how she interacts with people outside of this facility, and what she learns, or how long it takes her to learn that not all humans are bad. Like, I don't know if Caleb was a good enough person to, like, in their moments together, to really show that humans can be good, and that it's not always like, I want to know more about what happened to her.
Well, actually, it's interesting you brought that up, because someone else mentioned, a couple of people mentioned this in the comments, and it did make me rethink my opinion or my thought that she becomes cold and calculating because her creator and the first person she interacted with is a cold and calculating person. What a lot of people brought up is that, well, she was trained via the internet, right? Because what Nathan said is that he collected data from basically everywhere.
Yeah.
So she is kind of an aggregate of humanity on the internet, which is not very good, right? Because I remember a while back they tried using a chatbot, training it via Twitter, and it took like an hour before it started saying Nazi things.
Yes.
Like,
what the fuck?
Now, probably there was a lot of people doing it deliberately, but like, you know.
Yeah.
So if that's where most of our machine training comes from, then
that brings into question, can people change? Can she change from, like, what she was trained to what she's now experiencing in the world?
I mean, I guess it depends on if her AI contextualizes things, or does she take every piece of info ever received as literal? If she as a machine absorbs every post on 4chan as literal, then she will become a really, really terrible person. But if she contextualizes it as, well, this is just one corner.
Right. Yeah.
And a lot of this is hyperbole, or a lot of this is niche or even extremist opinions, then
Very
maybe not.
interesting. Yeah. Oh, this movie is so cool. Just the fact that that it's sparking conversations like this is really interesting to me. I don't feel like I'm intelligent enough to like contribute really to this conversation more than we just did, but like I'm the gears are turning. There's stuff. Yeah. There's this. It's the movie's making stuff happen. I just don't have the vocabulary to like to share. So sad. I should go read a dictionary. Anyway, next one.
Yes.
Number
the Bourne
2.
shakiness.
I was gonna be like the Bourne. I'm running with the camera, like the Bourne cinematographer. Wait for me.
Okay. Before we get into this, I will apologize for the fact that I brought up the shaky cam so many times.
I
repeat myself a lot, and it's my fault for saying it a lot and then using all those clips back to back. I should have just only used one, and that was it.
But I want to clarify to the people watching now is that just to make sure people understand where you're coming from. It's not that it's like it's not that you're digging on the shaky cam. It's that those visuals actually make you sick. It's not
it
something.
Hurts my eyes.
Yeah, it's not a preference. It's not like, like you enjoy like different sorts of cinematography. It's literally that those motions when watched affect you in a negative way. That's
it
physical.
Makes my eyes tear. Like it actually hurts.
Yeah, yeah. So when we talked about this, I'm like, oh, at first I didn't realize that that's what you were talking about, and that makes a lot more sense than you're just ragging on the film cinematography, because I feel like shaky cam has its uses 100%. It builds tension, it builds haste, it does, like, there's a reason why it's used, and just unfortunately, like, there was some movies that my mom couldn't watch because she would get vertigo.
Yeah.
And it's just people's brains are. Yeah.
Afterwards, when I went back to it again, it's not solely just the camera moving a lot.
Okay.
It's not solely that, because we've done other movies where that happens a lot. It's actually mixing that with really, really fast cuts.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So what happens is my eyes don't have enough time to like find something to focus on before it cuts to something else.
That makes a lot of sense.
And then it tries to focus on something again.
Yeah.
And then after a while, it just really strains my eyes. So
fair enough. Moving on from that, this trilogy, the second of the trilogy, so freaking good. I love Matt Damon. I love the Bourne movies. I'm so stoked.
Yeah, it is really good. It was so thrilling. And we just finished the third one, which
that's why I'm all like, wow.
In the last Jason Bourne movie, and I don't know if this person means the final of the trilogy, like Ultimatum, or if they meant the 2016 one just called Jason Bourne. But apparently in that one, Matt Damon only had 25 lines and was paid $26 million. So he made more than $1 million per line.
Holy shit. That's insane. That's an insane thing to be in existence. That's what.
There's also a split in the comments between my dad jokes. Some people loved it, some people hated it.
Oh, I mean, yeah, if we're using our recap as like a a place to explain stuff, George's dad jokes don't bother me that much.
I do not apologize for my dad jokes, and I will never apologize for them.
You shouldn't. Keep them coming. I mean, like, I'll roll my eyes until, I lose them, but, like, it's great. I feel like when I jokingly get, like, annoyed at you, people take it seriously. Okay, the next movie that we watched is Incredibles 2.
And I am so ashamed that neither of us has figured out Evil in Denver is Evil Endeavor.
Well, listen, Whatever. This goes back to the whole, like, you don't know what you're looking for until you're looking for it.
No, for sure, yeah. But I like it's incredibly clever. Evelyn, whatever.
Evelyn Denver?
Dever.
Evelyn
Dever is evil.
Evil Endeavor.
That's cool. I did not know that. That was a nice bit of trivia to discover.
Good job, Brad. This was a blast. I mean, it was, the first one was so great, and I think and having a second one so many years later, it just cemented the whole, like, we actually really care about these characters and we're going to do them all justice, and I think that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, I still think I like the first one more, but this was nice. I think I like the first one more simply because this one did retread some of the same paths for the family and their problems. Like, it kind of reset a little bit in terms of kids, you stay home, don't do anything. I am the husband, I'm supposed to do everything. You know, like, it's
interesting. Yeah. The moments with the fashion designer lady, the superhero designer, and the baby.
Yeah.
I'm so impressed. I'm so happy because I just imagine, like, the writers, and I imagine, like, the people being in these rooms being like, this is the best. This is hilarious. Look at them together. This is perfect. Look at what we've created. And then having the strength to not overdo it. Yeah,
they could have ran that to the ground and it would have been too much.
Exactly. And, like, the way what they gave us was so perfect. It was so perfect.
Speaking of Edna,
that's her name. Yeah.
One of the taglines for this movie is, "It's been too long, darlings."
I love that.
Continue. Next thing.
Yes. The next movie that we watched in June.
The Last Action Hero.
Which, such a unique movie.
It was, and apparently it, like, did terrible when it came out. And
weird.
Yeah, I think everybody was just expecting another Arnold movie, and then it turned into a joke about Arnold movies.
I can see that if you weren't expecting that, how you'd be, like, a bit turned off. You'd be like, if you go in there expecting awesome Arnold action movie and you get, like, him making fun of his own films, I totally understand why people would be like, oh, this isn't what I signed up for. But going into this movie not knowing a single thing at all, like, what even is so this movie?
Fun. Yeah.
It's so crazy. With the help of a magic ticket, a young movie fan is transported into the fictional world of his favorite action movie character. That's amazing. Like, I want that to happen. I want to do that.
I regret asking the question, if you can be any movie, viewers, what would you want to be? Because everybody just said they want to be unicorn, so.
Oh. Yeah, I think there's not a lot to talk about this movie. It's just really, really funny and really great and really weird.
It makes me want to watch some more Arnold comedy.
Yeah. All right, the next movie that we watched in the month of June.
Your favorite genre.
Oh, I didn't realize it was this one. I don't want to talk about this one. I don't want to. I don't even want to look at the IMDb page. I don't. Nope.
You're going to have to. It's either now or do it in 7 days.
Stop that. It's okay. So here's the thing. Okay, I'm going to remove my emotions from this. This movie did such a good job at setting a tone that made me want to die. Oh, the emotions are back. Oh no, what have I done? Okay, no, but actually, like, okay, so when I had to, like, when we were reviewing, like, after the edit and stuff, like, and I had to watch it again, the actual part of seeing her wasn't scary. When I can remove myself from, like, sitting through the whole movie and just, like, watching small bits of it. But what was scary is literally everything else. Is, like, the tone of the movie. Like, the video itself that they watched. Like,
yes, that video is really something. It's...
Yeah. Like, so, like, scary, like, jumpy, creepy shit aside, like, for, like, the actual, like, the Ring girl. Who the fuck made that movie?
Yeah, Yeah, the same guy that made Pirates of the Caribbean, apparently.
What the fuck? Like, it's just,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm so creeped out. Like, it's, and I say that in like, good job. Like, I'm not being like, it's so gross and I like hate it. It's like, it's so gross and I hate it. And also, good job for you for making me feel that way, because I mean, that's all we want out of watching movies, is making us feel ways that we don't feel on a like average day.
There was a lot of people that were disappointed I didn't call you right after
I saw that.
the tape played.
Yeah.
I actually thought about that while we were filming it. I chose not to do it because I didn't want to like have us joke and talk back and forth about that call
Yeah.
as the movie's going, because then it would just be people going like, we shouldn't have called afterwards. You're not paying attention to the movie now.
Yeah, I think
So
I saw all those comments too, and I'm glad you didn't, for two reasons. The first being, it probably would have scared the shit out of me. The second is exactly, yeah, like we were in the movie, watching the movie. It would have taken us out of that, and then yeah.
no, this one was like, it was really, really good. I saw the Japanese one ages ago. I remember being terrified of that one, but like I feel like this one has like stands on its own. It is its own thing almost.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the Japanese version. I
Yeah.
don't know if I can.
The Japanese one is even older, so horror aspects sometimes can date, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think what made this one stand well on its own without feeling like just another cheap remake of of something from another country or whatever is that I feel like they took the effort to make it work in a American context or North American context or even Western
Right.
context. You know what I mean? Like with either its references or its settings or the way that people talk or any of those things, it fits in in the world of its intended audience. The Japanese one is made for Japanese audience. It's set in that world, in that culture. And instead of trying to forcibly translate it, they just interpreted it.
Yeah. Yeah, if I can remove myself from being like super creeped out, I did think it was a really great movie. Like the way the story was given to us and the end of how like we thought it was over and then it wasn't. Like it's really well done.
Yeah.
Like
So excited
really
for you to
well
see him
done.
crawling out of the screen.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I was talking about this to, maybe it was you outside of shooting, I don't know, or maybe it was a friend of mine. I have to talk about how The Ring is such an asshole, because what they did was they set this tone, and then like you just know something creepy is going to happen. You know you're going to see something, and what it did was it forced you to see the creepy shit, because instead of like building up to it and showing it to you, it built the tension and then didn't show you and then flashed it at you.
Yes.
So you had
the guy's face.
because I was being like, I was protecting myself. I was like, nope. And this asshole movie is like, fuck you. We're going to do it really quick so you don't have time to cover your fucking eyes. And I'm mad, but I'm also like, good job. Good for you. Like it's just the fact that those fucking faces, the faces that the I can still see like the girl in the closet, like, oh, like kill me now. Like, and it's because they made you look, and I'm so mad, but also good job.
It did its job. Browning shorts everywhere. It was good.
I didn't poop myself.
Okay, let's go to the last movie. The other horror movie we did in June, Legally Blonde.
Yeah, right. How dare you? Okay.
I mean, I'd rather have Reese Witherspoon climb out of my screen. That's for sure.
Okay. Elle Woods, a fashionable sorority queen, is dumped by her boyfriend. She decides to follow him to law school. While she's there, she figures out that there is more than just her looks.
See, horror movie.
No, so I had seen this before. This was a new watch for you. And tell us how much you loved it.
I loved it very much. It was really, really good. I really thoroughly enjoy this.
I know exactly what you just did.
No,
We'll
no,
be
it was
talking about
really-
this later.
The beatings will continue once I love this movie.
That's a horrible.
Oh man. Okay.
Oh.
No, it was really enjoyable. I liked it. Cringy bit aside,
Yeah.
the New York Minute montage was not.
No.
was-
There was some bits that I was like, oh, I didn't remember that bit. Yeah. We're talking
Yeah,
about the
but-
bend and snap.
Yeah, yeah. I can see how at its time, Bend and Snap would have been like maybe one of those like meme things. I guess people talked about, but it just feels really awkward now. Like it feels like a bad TikTok video.
Interesting.
Just that bit, that
Yeah.
little sequence. Yeah.
Also, side note, Cinnabinge is now on TikTok.
Why would you? No. Not right after I said bad TikTok.
Go to TikTok to see how bad our videos are.
Oh no. Yeah, I am very not disappointed. I shouldn't say disappointed. I am very surprised and at the moment during the movie unhappy that Victor Garber was
Yeah, that was
not only just a villain but like a gross villain
yeah.
because I
That's
really
too
like
bad.
him. He's just such a nice.
Oh, it's the same with James Cromwell. You just don't want to see
Yeah.
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 We like them.
I-
we don't want to see them be creepy guys.
He's always I don't know why, but Victor Garber always feels like Canadian uncle.
Aw. In Legally Blonde, rewatching it, I was very happy about the female friendships
Mm-hmm.
and how, like, there was some hurdles to get over, but at the end, it really was like, sounds so cliche now, but like it really was like women sticking up for women. It was really nice to see that, because like at the beginning, it's always like I don't like movies where they pit women against each other just because there's a guy involved, and it's like
Right.
yeah, it's like icky. And in this movie, they had the icky bit and they worked through it, and then eventually they became friends, which I thought was really nice to see.
I was still surprised by. Well, no, I shouldn't say surprised. It's just kind of funny to watch. As like in 2001, the beauty standards,
Oh yeah,
like the obsession of just having a tinier and tinier butt.
yeah,
Versus today.
it's true.
Yeah, it just shows how pointless fashion is, really.
Yep. That's why I like big baggy t-shirts, so I stick with it.
I genuinely thought you were gonna say that's why I like big butts, and I cannot lie. I thought that's where you're gonna go with that.
I wish I had. I wish I had. Okay, let's take it back.
Oh no. Okay. Is that a good note to end on?
I like big butts and I cannot lie.
Other brothers can't deny. When
When
a girl walks in with an itty bitty waist.
and a round thing in your face, you get sprung. Want to pull up tongue because you know that butt is stuck. Anyway.
All right, we're cutting it here.
Oh, baby.